morning, YouTube. I'm gonna go work some bees today, and I'm gonna take y'all with me. Might not be any content you like. If not, you can just scroll on by, but if it is, then stick around and watch, because I ain't got no clue what's fixing to happen. I'm going to check. I'm basically going to go through everything I've got today, which isn't much anymore. Winter of 2023, 2024, I went into the winter with 18 or 20 colonies, I can't remember. And then during that winter, and coming out of that winter, I had some family issues. My mom has real bad dementia. We had to, there was a lot of family struggles with that. And we were having a house remodel, and that didn't go real well. The house was overrun with rot, termites, and mold. It was going to cost more to tear it out and rebuild it than it was to tear it down and rebuild a new one. So that whole year, bees got put on the back burner. Every now and then I would drive by and see bees going in and out of my boxes. That was it. The end of 24, some of you that's watched my tractor content with my old Super A, you've heard me talk about it. The end of 24, I got hit in the head with a limb. I was working on my property with my big tractor, and a limb just fell out. I don't know, I probably tugged on something a little too hard, but I had no warning whatsoever. Limb fell and hit me square in the top of the head. And threw out all of my CTs for my head and neck to see if I had a concussion, blah, blah, blah. They found I had thyroid cancer. So that rocked along, and in December of 24, I had surgery and had my thyroid removed. Then 4 weeks later, January of 25, I got diagnosed with leukemia. So I spent all of 25 in and out of the hospital with chemo and recovery. Could care less if I had a bee. Yeah, that was the absolute last thing on my plate was beehives. So March the 1st this year, a friend of mine, it's 2026. Today is actually the 4th or the 5th. It is the 4th of April, day before Easter, 2026. March the 1st, a friend of mine was with me, and we went through I had 3 colonies left out of almost 20. We went through 2 of the 3 that I had, and they both had issues, but I think they had swarmed after I went into them later. I think both of them swarmed early, right before I went into them, because they've been in the same, one of them had been in the same 3 boxes, and I run 7 frame mediums, and I didn't stay on top of them because of all my other issues. But they were crowded. They don't tell them how many times they swarmed in the last 2 years, and the other one was just in a 7 frame 2 medium high box, so they were in 14 frames. I have a queen in that box, which I think was from a swarm. She was the result of a swarm. And she's laying good. The other one that was in the 3 high box, the first time me and my buddy went to it, they were wall to wall. They were good. And I think they swarmed right after we went into it, because we didn't go all the way to the bottom. And then they ended up, they're hopelessly queenless. And every time I give them an opportunity to make a queen, they won't do it. So I don't know what their status is right now. It's been about a week since I've been in them. Worst case scenario, I've got a new virgin queen that should be going out on mating flights today or tomorrow. Once she starts laying, I'll just combine the 2 if this one out here on the farm is still queenless. And then I caught 2 swarms. One March the 20th, which is huge. And I call it my depot queen because it was at the depot, at the train depot downtown. And then March the 21st, caught another pretty good sized swarm at my best man's house, and everybody's always called him Bubba, so I call that my Bubba swarm. So I'm going to check the depot and the Bubba today. I know I'm going to need to put a new box on both of those because they have drawn like crazy. I'm anxious to see how much, and when we open them up, we'll talk about that. And we'll see what else I get into. Who knows? By the grace of God, everything will work out good today. And if not, it was in His plan too, so we'll just see what happens. Y'all stick with me. Well, that's the, wow. They're already bringing, that's my depot swarm that I hived up 15 days ago. I brought them out here. Well, I brought both of them. That is the Bubba swarm. I set this little stand up last night. That's a piece of concrete backer board, just to hopefully keep the grass and all from growing up on it. If I like this location, let me show you what I got. This is at my property. So I've got my pond here. My access is over there across the pond by my old truck. And there's so much stuff on this place. I've got 160 acres here. It was my great-grandfather's farm. But there's clover all over the place. Now I know they can't work it, but the other bees and the turkeys love it. I've got 1.33 acres right here of crimson. There's fixing to be sunflowers, probably after the first week of May. But there's so many blackberries, and it was a huge dewberry flow here. I've got bees in the back. That's where my 2 that made it. One of them I think is queenless. The other one I think's doing good. But I put these here last night, y'all. Let me move this back down. And I put that piece of privet there so they could reorient. But they are coming in with pollen already, and it's only been daylight for about, 5 hours? And they've already found, man, they're such efficient creatures. They've already found a really good pollen source. I would really like to go all the way through these to see what her laying pattern is, but I'm anxious to see if they've laid. I feel pretty sure that both colonies have drawn out the top boxes, and I'm pretty sure they need another one. So let me get the camera set up. It's windy, it's overcast. It probably ain't gonna be a good day, but maybe they'll let me do what I need to do. Y'all stick with me. It's probably not going to be a good day, and it's gotten windy out here. But I really want to see the status of these two. Oh yeah, they're in the top. Yeah, they need a new box for sure. Man, swarms are impressive. I'm just telling you. Swarms are so impressive. And I love, love, love my little 7-frame boxes. Let me show y'all. You can see there, all new fresh wax there. We'll see when we get them out, but they're just wall to wall. I got to give a shout out to Ralph Jones. I hadn't seen him post anything on YouTube in a long time, but man, he's the one I first saw with these 7-frame boxes, and I used to run a bunch of 4-frame. I love a 4-frame box, and they build up so well in a smaller, a narrower box to me. Let's see. Man, they're drawing this out so pretty. Storing it with nectar. Watch out right there. I'm gonna look through a couple of these frames. It's been so wet, I hadn't been able to. All of my smoker fuel has been wet, damp, so I'm gonna have to keep it going. But I'm anxious to see if the Depot Queen has moved up into the top box yet. If she has, then in the next day or so, I'm not gonna do it today, but I'm probably gonna do a Damari split or Damari method, whatever. All right, that's all. Ooh, y'all look like y'all trying to build some swarm cells, but we're gonna get that out of there. That's one thing I like about the concept of that Damari method, is you keep your bees supposedly, and you try to, prevent or curb swarming. So yeah, I might end up going through, some of this might be a fast forward. Might end up going through all 21 of these frames just to see where she's at. This is all honey. So if I do put another box, I'll probably slide this box up top. Let them work in and fill it in. Oh, this is all honey. And they're starting to cap it over. Man, 15 days. 15 days, y'all. And all I gave them, okay, she's got eggs here. So this is the top of the brood box. The top of the brood chamber. All I gave her, I think, was 2 pieces of drawn comb. Everything else has been waxed foundation. Now I wax my foundation myself. All right, so it was just that one frame that she moved up to. Everything else here, so that's the 3rd one from the front. Everything else here is nectar, and they're just drawing that one out. Yeah, they need another one. One hive beetle. There's two hive beetles. Now we're down to one. Actually, I'm going to turn this one around and let them finish let's just finish drawing this side out. So they'll draw it out even against it. No, I'm not, because I don't want them to draw this one out fat. I'm going to leave it like it was. All right, let me come off the front wall with it. Now, like I said, I moved these out here last night, and I see now why this one was so heavy. Hey, y'all. I see capped honey there. I think I'm going to play heck with the wind and the smoker today. But at the moment, they really don't need any smoke. I really don't like to smoke a whole lot. I am going to light it back up though. Yeah, I think she's a candidate for a Damari split middle of the week. I just don't have time to do it today. I want to run through most everything today. Nectar and pollen, isn't that pretty? Or honey and pollen. All right, this is brood. Old cap brood, eggs, new cap brood. Yeah. Man, look at this next frame. Look at that, would you? Hey, no, that was, I thought I saw my queen, but it was so I don't know how old this queen was, right? Because she was a swarm 15 days ago. So I figured she's last year's queen, but I really don't know. So my favorite color is orange, as you can tell with my tops. And so I put an orange dot on her because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to put one of the dots that's in the international color code. And I looked down and I saw this bee with this big orange dot of pollen on it, and I thought that was my queen. Just looking down at the dot. All right, see, that's new. Let me see if that's just a cup. I think it's just a cup. Yeah, there's nothing in it. So I'll give them a box today and give them a little bit more room. Give them something to do. I see her down there. Let me show y'all if she'll stay on this frame. Right on the bottom of the frame. She's right there. All right. I've seen all I need to see. I know what I need to do here. She's still good and fat. I don't think they're slimming her up yet, so I'm not gonna go any further. I'm gonna put a box on, give them something to do. And what did I say? It was the third frame, wasn't it? Third frame from the front on that other box that had the eggs in it. On that box. So I'm gonna take this box, put it here. Third frame. Pretty sure it was this one right here. I can get it out. Yep, third frame. Now they got a reason to come up into this box. And I'll move these around just a touch. Man, those heavy frames of honey don't take long to stick back down. Yeah, this is a really good candidate for that Damari method. I'm gonna try it. I sure didn't think it'd be this fast. Man, swarms are impressive. Have I said that? All right. That wasn't so bad. Put my top back on. And this is my Bubba colony, named after my best man. I picked it up the day after I picked up the depot swarm. So the depot was 15 days, and they had done drawn out almost 21 frames in 15 days. This is 14 days, but they were a smaller swarm. But I feel pretty sure all 14 frames are gonna be drawn out. I feel real sure. Oh yeah. Not quite as many bees, but they started smaller though. I don't want to put them in that ant bed right there. I gotta kill the ants. They might not. Yeah, they're ready. Because we're on the front end. Man, the blackberries are blooming right now. The privet will be here in a week or so. They're not near as far along as the depot, but I'm gonna see if she's in the top box already. I feel like she probably is. Drawing that out. Got nectar in it. I don't want to kill any bees. Let me set it down here on the ground. There we go. All right, she's here. And actually, there she is. That's all I need to see. I'm gonna knock down this little cap, this little cup right here. And it didn't have anything in it. So she's gonna be, I'm gonna look one more frame. And it's loaded with eggs. Okay, I'll go one more since I've already got it loose. Day-old larva. Man, this would be a perfect frame this side. See if y'all can see, I don't know if you can see that's 3 or 4 day old larva. in there. This is day old. You just barely can see a little touch of royal jelly in there. All right, that's it. She's coming right along. They're fixing to get their third box. And she was a swarm too, so that's why she's got an orange dot. Orange dot has no meaning to anybody but me, just because orange is my favorite color and I don't really know how old she is. So I'll probably, once I go into the Damari split method, whatever, with her, if she builds up in time, then the queen cells they make in the top of it, I might take one of those out and do a split. So I'll have a split off of her, and I know I'm gonna have a split off of the depot because man, she's just so good. Let me put this back down. I'm fixing to wrap this up, and I'm on. I'm not gonna be able to drive back to where my other one are, well, other two colonies are, but I'm gonna get the mule loaded up, and I'll probably bring y'all along with me, and we'll see the status of those two. The two back there are the ones that made it through my 2-year hiatus from my family issues and my 2 cancers. I'm just gonna see what's left. I know one of them was laying really good, and we're gonna see what her status is. So y'all stick with me. Well, I didn't think I was gonna be able to drive back, but I gave it a shot. So this is the colony that I went into March 1st, me and a buddy of mine. And I mean, there was wall-to-wall brood in the top 2 boxes. We didn't go in the bottom one. So there could have been swarm cells in the bottom one. And the next day, I went into that one. And that one had a small queen in it, but absolutely 0 brood, not an egg, not a larva, not a capped brood, not anything. And I think that one swarmed before this one over here. That one was only in 2 boxes. And I think the queen I saw maybe was about to go out on her mating flights or something, because it was still another week before I ever saw eggs, but everything had emerged. There was nothing in there but pollen and nectar. And then the next week I came back here and it was exactly the same, but no queen. And I still have not found a queen. I'm working on 2 weeks. I've put 2 frames at 2 different times with eggs and larvae, and give them every opportunity to make a queen, and they won't. So we're fixing to go into them and see what's happening. All right, here we go. My brick system, if it's standing up, last time I checked it was queenless. If it's laying flat but standing on its side, it's got a queen, but she's not laying. If it's laying down flat, it's queen right. So, and it is starting to sprinkle. Don't that suck? Well, there are bees in the top, but I don't really know necessarily what that means on this colony. But there's not a lot of bees in here. I might condense these back down to 2 boxes till I can figure out what's going on. They're putting up some nectar though. It's pretty heavy. And they're quiet, and they've always been quiet. And that's what's baffled me. they don't sound queenless. You know, they might, but I haven't seen any eggs every time I go in here. There's not a, I mean, there's bees, but there's not a lot. Not like the other two, man. But there's nectar. I keep hoping to maybe see either regular eggs or numerous eggs on the side. You know, if I've got a laying worker, I'd like to know it. But I'm just not seeing anything one way or the other. All right, hold on now. I might as well get my light here, because that sure looks like eggs to me. There are a bunch of hive beetles. And yeah, there's capped brood. No, wait a minute. That might be left from when I moved a frame of eggs over. Let me get my flashlight. Was it this side or this side? Let me look here. I see single eggs. They're kind of sporadic, but I see single eggs in the bottom of the cells. Now I might need to go through that other box. And I might need this. That makes me feel better about this colony, because I was figuring this thing was doomed. See, this is capped brood, but I think this is what's left from the last frame of eggs I tried to give them. Even here in the empty cells, I think I see, yeah, single egg standing straight up. I'd like to see her. She's probably in that box I took off. And that's fine. If she's over there, we'll see her when we put it back together. All right, this is nectar and pollen. She's not going to be here. All right, she's not there. And I don't know why, but my gut tells me she's not in the bottom. But she very well could be. But y'all, that makes me feel a whole lot better that I'm seeing eggs. And she's not here. The next pretty day, I work tomorrow. I go back on duty tomorrow. And I really need to work in my shop Monday. But man, if it's pretty Monday, I might come go through this complete colony and condense them down where they might could manage these hive beetles real quick, get them under control. All right, I don't want to put this on there yet. I'm gonna put this down here. You know, like I say, this whole time, all through their debacle, all through their queenless stage, they have been quiet. So obviously they knew what was going on. Maybe it took her longer to go out and get mated than it should have. Man, there's hive beetles everywhere on here. I don't like this spot. I want to move all of these bees up front where we just were, because this spot is way too shady. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna be down here. She might be in that top box. If I see her, I'll bring her and let y'all see her. I think I just killed a bee. I did. There she is. Right here. And she's a new queen. So, I know she's a 2026 queen. And I know she's in that top box. So I'm finna mark her white. Let's see. I'll take y'all over here with me. I'll watch me marker real quick. There's my orange. Make sure. Yeah. I didn't really want paint all over my truck, but you know, it is what it is, right? All right. Come on out of here, girl. There you go. Get in there. Dry it up just a second. And I need this for the next colony. Let's go. All right, I have 2 virgin queens at my house. Well, one has gone out and she started laying, and I got one that should be going out on flights right now. But this is the first queen I've marked white this year. Everything else is I've got orange because, you know, I just don't know how old they are. All right. Let's see if we can watch her walk back down. And they always go right where you don't want them, don't they? There she goes. All right. See you. Y'all, that makes me feel so much better. Y'all just kind of stand by. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put this back together and get set up on the other one. Let's see here. I would really love to move these to the house in the next 2 or 3 days and leave them for 2 or 3 days and then bring them back out here and put them up by the pond. But I don't really know yet. No, they don't quite need another box, I don't think. They're working on it, but I don't think they quite need another box. That might give me time to move them while they're still in 3, because I don't want to move them in 4. My son will be here tonight. He can help me. I might come back out here tonight, close them up, and bring them to the house. I was looking to see if she's moved up, and she hasn't yet. No. All right, that's all I need to see here. I wanted to make sure that they were not needing room, and they're not at the moment. It will be within the next week though, because there's still a lot of blackberries blooming everywhere, and the privet is going to come out. Privet will be here in a couple weeks. And on the tail end of the privet, we'll still have lots of clover. I have clover that blooms year round out here, because our climates are really so mild. Make sure I get my top turned around right, because they don't need an upper entrance yet. And then after the privet will be the tallow. All right, y'all. So we got both swarms. They were doing really good. It's not hot, y'all. It's hot. And this, look, this jacket is amazing, but you still get hot. That one's queen right. Thank God. I will condense them down. These are queen right. They just don't, they don't need any more room at the moment. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I might make a whole different video of me going in the Damari split at the house to try to find that virgin queen if she's still there. That's a whole nother debacle. I guess worst case scenario, I can treat it as a queenless a double queen colony until she goes off and gets mated and comes back and starts laying. Then I should be able to find her real easy. Then take her out and make a split with her and go back to my normal procedure on that Damari. I don't know how to say it. I'll probably say it 5 or 6 other ways before it's all over with. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. I know it's kind of a long video, but you know, I don't know all I need to know about beekeeping, but I might have done something to help somebody out. And if I do, man, leave a comment. And if you see I did something stupid, leave a comment. Let me know. If you like this content, you know, like I say, on this page, I've got, I do a little bit of everything. I haven't been doing too much hunting videos, but I've got my tractors. I got my big orange tractor. I got my little red tractor and the beekeeping. And if you like this content, just hit a like and subscribe. Let me know. Y'all have a great day. God bless. We'll see you on the next one.